We have seen a lot of stories, over the years of men that have taken care of children that was not theirs, even in marriages. Because, we'll see men sometimes that's dating a woman and they in a relationship, they're not married. Then he finds out he leaves. Where this particular judge is a judge that finds out after 51 years of marriage that his two sons is not even his. That's crazy. Let's get rolling.
I've been married for 51 years. Got two sons, 42 and 40. Damn deadbeats. I'm still supporting the little boogers. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's. Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault that those two idiots got dumped into this world. Hell, I thought they took after their mother. Instead, they take after the plumber or the postman or the milkman, or yeah, they were milkmen back when they came around. I mean, God only knows. It sure gets old. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were, and they ain't the same. She was bopping a couple of different guys. But if I could figure out who they were, I've been practicing law long enough that I pretty well figure I could sue their ass and get all my money back that I sunk into those two deadbeats. It just chaps my that she couldn't tell me. I'd probably forgiven her. Maybe not. You know how it is. Hell, boys, y'all need to go get your own paternity test. You can't tell by looking who's the daddy unless you're looking down at the genetic level. I've been in court thousands of times in paternity suits, and 4 out of 5 times, guy says he ain't the daddy, he's right. And the genetic test is the only way to prove it for sure. These women are hopping everything that looks fun. You thought you liked sex. You ain't nothing. Well, I guess that pretty well completes that story. I'll go home, start drafting up some divorce papers, see if I can't get free of that crazy bitch. I mean, I stayed with her for the sake of the children and the grandchildren, now the great-grandchildren. But they ain't no kin of mine.
Man, could you imagine, fellas, that you've been married for 51 years to this particular woman, and you find out 51 years later that she cheated on you and had a whole baby, and she knew. Listen, one thing that a lot of the women, especially my mom, grandmothers, aunties, they always say in a cemetery where women is buried a lot of secrets. They got women that would do that mess. They know they got pregnant by that man. And some of these women out here will sit up here and have no problem lying to you, saying it's your child, want you to take care of it and everything, and let this man off of the hook. Now, she robbed this man of children because in his mind, I have my two sons. This woman had two children with either another man or two different men, robbed this man of sons of his own. He knew something was wrong because he knew that wasn't his genes or the way they are. You understand what I'm saying? He knew something was up, and maybe say, well, they just wayward. Yeah, they my sons or whatever, right? Now, some people I saw in the chat at the time say, well, they still your sons. Well, no, he was relieved because he's like, dog, did I raise some sorry dudes? Because let me tell you something, when you have children with somebody, you better believe this. Half of the woman goes into that child and half of the man goes into that child. And some children, even if they never meet the other side, they can act just like that other side because that's part of who they are. That's how they got here. Now, of course, he talked about filing for divorce, but at his age, like, bro, you can't even get out there no more. I mean, the only thing you could do at that point is trick. That's about the only thing you could do is trick at that point. If you still want to go down that route. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. He's not going to be dating nobody like that. Nothing serious. But paternity fraud should be something that definitely should be on the books. It should be a jailable offense. It should be an offense that they have to pay restitution. Of course, getting the guy also and making him definitely pay child support. And one of the best ways to get rid of this problem is mandatory DNA testing at birth. The law should say that a father cannot sign the birth certificate unless he take the mandatory DNA test. It should be mandatory right in the hospital. I mean, the mama right there, the baby's right there. It's nothing to swab some cheeks. We're talking about the cheeks in your mouth. It's nothing to swab that, okay? And swab that man. They can find out even before she discharged the situation. Hey, okay, it's confirmed. You the father. That's the mother. That way, if something was to happen later and they want to do child support, you won't, because some men pull that stunt to extend not to pay child support. I've seen some men do it in court. They say, hey, that kid not mine. I want a DNA test. And they can't make them pay child support until they establish that child is theirs, right? So to prevent that kind of maneuvering, you just go and do it then. But I'm going to tell you who will be more afraid of that, these women. Because they know some of the dirt they're doing. And how many men have gotten taken like that? I've covered this kind of story many times on this channel alone. That's the only way to stop it. Mandatory DNA testing at birth. Oh, that man can't sign a birth certificate. It's not his child. Now, I guarantee you start doing mandatory DNA testing on this. Oh, you had a feminist come out fussing about that. And they would expose their hands and say, oh, so you want men to take care of children that's not theirs. And they'll try to gaslight you and say, oh, well, I mean, it was a mistake, but I made a mistake. The guy isn't a good guy, but the child need a father. I'll say, go find a father you laid up with. You understand what I'm saying? Men need to push that mandatory DNA testing at birth. And men should be able to recover all monies that they paid for that child. They should. Because that's not right. Especially when you knew that child wasn't this man's and it's proof that you knew. Or when you get in an argument with them at the end, well, that's why the child not yours. That man should be getting every dime back he paid on that kid. And she should get hit with a fine to the court for that. On top of going to jail. Because, I believe going to jail will stop a lot of that paternity fraud. Because that's wrong to do it to somebody. But, you do it to men, it's okay, right?